I think it's high time that as a community we start to really address the status quo of how our institutions in general, our organizations and our masajid are structured, formed, and being run. Because there is a general sentiment, I think it's high time that as a community we start to really address the status quo of how our institutions in general, our organizations and our masajid are structured, formed, and being run. Because there is a general sentiment, I think, of just being unsettled with the way things are being managed. And I think that sense of just feeling unsettled is not unwarranted. You know, what I want us to potentially consider is that we need to almost disrupt the American Muslim institution as an industry. You know, you use this language when I was in business school. This idea of like disrupting an industry. I think there needs to be a disruption in the American Muslim institution. Are we doing this the right way? Because the way things got developed in the first place, especially decades ago, it was kind of arbitrary, if we really think about it. It wasn't planned out. And intention aside, because inshallah I believe everyone who's trying is sincere, bi'idhnillah. Allah does not command us to assess what is happening in your heart. Salim started the masjid. Inshallah you started for the right reasons. Inshallah you're going to be in the highest levels of Jannah. But now I have to come to Salim and I have to come to Ghaydar and say, hey guys, are you guys really doing this the right way? Are you guys really the most qualified to be running these masajid? Should you continue to be in charge? Have you really challenged yourself to say, like, what are the governing principles of this institution? So we have, in the legal jargon, you have bylaws. Like, these are the bylaws of the institution. What are the spiritual, philosophical bylaws of the American Muslim institution, masjid organization or otherwise? Like, have we really opened our masajid with the distinct spirit of ensuring that the pleasure of Allah will be fulfilled every single day? Or perhaps have our institutions devolved into a reality which is normal when human beings start to organize, that it just becomes about a battle of wills. Salim's will versus Yasir's will versus Ghaydar's will. And it becomes politics. Becomes about, well, I was first and you were second. I was here 30 years ago. You're only here 5 years ago. I am the one who knows what's best, and I will ensure that this organization or this institution or this masjid goes into the best possible place, right? Do I really know what's best? Or is it just because I have a false sense of self and a false confidence in my own abilities, and I'm going to make this the most remarkable space? Or is it because I fear the loss of control? Which is a big reality, I think, in the American Muslim institution. If I obsess over control, over leadership, over dictating these realities, how am I going to meet Allah Yawm al-Qiyamah? Listen, way too many people come into organizations and the first thing they think about is me. How do I feel here? Do I like this? Do I not like this? Am I welcomed or not welcomed? Listen, the first thing and the last thing that all of us have to always be thinking about is Allah happy with us? When I meet him, is he going to say, Salamun alayk, peace be upon you for what you try to do in the dunya? Whether we are in positions of quote-unquote power or leadership, or whether we are just quote-unquote lay Muslims who come to the masjid, how all of us collectively are going to meet Allah having said, Ya Allah, we really tried our best to serve your masajid, to serve your institutions, to serve your deen. Here is what I tried to do. I did it with the best sincerity, with the most knowledge that I possibly could. I asked all the questions. I tried to learn and study and consult and take shura. And here is what I could offer.
Yeah, I mean, for the listeners, this is not, this is merely just a cry, that we need to pay attention, not necessarily, to try to say like, hey, we are offering solutions. Some of the listeners may be like, well, don't just stir my emotions and give me solutions, So this is not meant to be as such. We are saying, you guys are able to figure out, go figure it out.
Yeah,
So we have, alhamdulillah, a lot of talent, a lot of knowledge, and every community, inshallah, is able to do as such.
So like you said, this is part 1 to be continued. dot.
To listen to the full episode, please visit Imanwire.com.